The United States has held crisis talks with the Ukrainian president just days out from the 3-year anniversary of Russia starting its full-scale war with the nation. But while the US envoy met Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy in Kyiv overnight, a planned post-meeting press conference was abruptly cancelled, leaving more questions than answers.
The relationship between the two countries is under increasing strain after Donald Trump called President Zelenskyy a dictator earlier this week. And it all comes as European leaders move to try and quell the tension. Our correspondent Carrington Clark is following it all from Washington for us. Good morning, Carrington. The pair met earlier, but what came out of the meeting?
Yeah, well, not a lot. The Ukrainian leader obviously wants to put a positive spin on this meeting with the envoy from President Donald Trump of the United States. And he said it was a good conversation and that Ukraine had put forward a plan for a lasting peace. But the abrupt cancellation of what was supposed to be the media conference to follow would seem to indicate that the tensions have not been resolved. But we have also been just now hearing from Donald Trump's national security advisor, Mike Waltz. He's at the White House and he said it is very obvious that Donald Trump is very frustrated with Volodymyr Zelenskyy. He says that he feels personally insulted and that Ukraine needs to come back to the table on the US's proposal that it receives a share of the critical minerals in Ukraine. Now, this was a deal that was rejected by Volodymyr Zelenskyy. He said that he couldn't just sign away his country's wealth, but it was very clear from this press conference that we've just been seeing from Mike Waltz, among other leading members of the Trump administration, that this seems to be a major sticking point. It's not only critical minerals, but also they suggested investments in things like aluminium smelting, and they say it's an important part of the deal to ensure that the needs of the American taxpayer are also accounted for. Effectively, that America should be receiving a cut of the resources of Ukraine in return for the military support they've already offered and will continue to offer. But this will be very worrying for the Ukrainian government, but also for key European allies, NATO allies, who are concerned by this increasing pivot from Donald Trump towards Russia. When pushed, Mike Waltz was unwilling to call Vladimir Putin a dictator, even though Donald Trump had been happy to call the democratically elected leader of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelenskyy, a dictator just yesterday. So it is very obvious the relationship between the Ukrainian leader and the US president is badly damaged, or as they say, that Donald Trump is very frustrated with the Ukrainian leader. But what remains to be seen is whether or not, again, this is a negotiating tactic that Donald Trump is trying to use leverage in order to bring this war to an end, or if it is a clear indication that he favors Vladimir Putin's position on who started this war and who is responsible for ending it.